Welcome to LFC Transfer HQ, your ultimate source for all things Liverpool FC transfers. Like and subscribe for more football updates. Our first news is 3 deals Liverpool can complete this week as summer transfer window opens. Liverpool go into the summer as Premier League champions, but there could still be several changes made to the squad. The transfer window is just around the corner and it could be set to be a busy few months at Anfield. Sporting director Richard Hughes will be busy as he looks to bring in new signings to Arne Slot's squad ahead of next season. After agreeing new contracts with Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk, the attention will now be on bringing new players to Liverpool. The summer transfer window does not officially open until June 1st, which will remain so until June 10th ahead of the Club World Cup. The window then reopens on June 16th until deadline day on September 1st, during which time it seems Liverpool could be busy making changes to their squad. Even though the window does not open until Sunday, Liverpool can still have agreements in place for players to move to the club ahead of time. And it seems that 3 players in particular could be close to competing switches to Anfield in the days ahead. The Echo recently reported that Jeremy Frimpong completed a medical with Liverpool earlier this month, with the club expected to pay the £30 million release clause in his contract at Bayer Leverkusen. Frimpong has been identified as a target for Liverpool ahead of the departure of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Frimpong can play at right back as well as further forward on the right wing and would add valuable versatility to the Reds squad. Florian Wirtz is also a player of interest to Liverpool after a hugely impressive Bundesliga season. Liverpool opened talks with Leverkusen last week over a deal to sign Wirtz, with the Bundesliga outfit said to value the player at around £125 million. Another player who has been heavily linked with Liverpool is Milos Kerkez. The Echo first reported in March that the Reds have an interest in Kerkez but that the Bournemouth star is not the only left-back under consideration ahead of the summer transfer window. Various reports have since claimed that Liverpool are close to signing Kerkez, but it still remains speculation at this stage. However, it would not be a surprise to see the Reds announce a deal for the Hungary international over the next few days. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our second news is everything the Echo knows about Florian Wirtz transfer as Liverpool set for £125 million talks. The latest on Florian Wirtz's potential move to Liverpool as the Reds look to tie up an agreement with Bayer Leverkusen. Liverpool are confident of agreeing a deal with Bayer Leverkusen to make Florian Wirtz the most expensive player in Anfield history this summer. The Reds have been in talks with Leverkusen over Wirtz and his teammate Jeremy Frimpong over the last couple of weeks, with the latter's £30 million release clause smoothing the path for a switch to Merseyside, which has yet to be confirmed but is understood to be close, however. Having made it clear to Wirtz and his entourage that the Premier League champions would be at the front of the queue if he felt his next move was served away from the Bundesliga, German champions Bayern Munich were forced to concede defeat last week, having seen Manchester City throw in the towel days earlier. Talks of formal discussions with the German side have been played down by Anfield officials, given the conversations that had already been ongoing about Wirtz and Frimpong, whose move to Liverpool is further along than his colleague. But there is a determination to bring the 22-year-old to England and secure what would represent a statement signing for the Premier League champions. Leverkusen sources have remained tight-lipped on how far along the negotiations are with the Reds, but Wirtz has his heart set on a move to Merseyside and Bayer will reluctantly look to facilitate the wishes of the versatile attacking midfielder, seeing a switch to England as preferable over losing him to Bundesliga rivals Bayern. Liverpool sporting director Richard Hughes will lead the negotiations and there is full confidence in the Scot to strike the biggest deal of all time on Merseyside. The Anfield chief was described to the Echo as the best in the business by club sources this week, and there is a growing belief that terms can be reached. There's no question that there's a lot of interest, Leverkusen sporting director Simon Rolfs said at the top of the week. There's a lot being written. Some things are true. Some things are certainly not true in the last few weeks. And that's why we'll see, because that's an open topic with Florian, that there's also concrete interest from Liverpool, that's clear, but at the moment, there's no further status. The opening of the transfer window on Sunday, for a 10-day trading period, has been orchestrated to help those involved in the revamped and expanded Club World Cup in the United States, but Liverpool want to find an agreement sooner rather than later. There is likely an acceptance, however, that the size of the transfer, at around the £125m mark, means there may be some negotiation to be had before hands can be shaken with a Leverkusen side who have appointed former Manchester United boss Erik ten Hag as Xabi Alonso's successor. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our last news is Florian Wirtz to Liverpool £126 million transfer twist as secret Bayern meeting details emerge. Details emerge of a secret Bayern Munich meeting with Florian Wirtz as Liverpool seek to wrap up a £126 million transfer. Alleged details of Bayern Munich's final attempt to sign Florian Wirtz, hosted in secret whilst the club's Bundesliga title parade took place, have emerged. The midfielder is now subject of talks between Liverpool and Bayer Leverkusen over a £126 million club record transfer. Liverpool initially waited on the player's decision over where his future lies, the Echo understands. Initially there had been strong expectation that Wirtz would elect to remain in Germany for the time being either with Leverkusen or Bayern, who at one stage believed they had won the race for the German Footballers' Union Player of the Season. Optimism in Munich turned to shock, reports Munich-based publication Süddeutsche Zeitung, SC. When evidence first arose of Wirtz's family taking a flight to England earlier this month, they had believed the family, specifically his father and agent Hans, had indicated at an earlier date that his son was set on Munich. So, Bayern are said to have organized one more meeting in order to convince Wirtz directly that their project was better than Liverpool's. On Sunday, May 18th, Bayern were celebrating their latest Bundesliga title success with supporters in their city centre. Incredibly, whilst this was happening, it is said manager Vincent Kompany, sporting directors Max Eberl and Christoph Freund, supervisory board members Karl-Heinz Rummenigge and Uli Hoeneß, and lastly CEO Jan-Christian Driessen, had all convened at a hotel elsewhere. The German media's cameras were focused on that event, so did not follow what was happening here. Wirtz is reported to have been picked up by limousine, taken to the location's underground car park, and their face-to-face exchanges took place in a rented suite. SC claim he spoke with Kompany in one room for an hour, learning how the coach would use him tactically, then met the Bayern bigwigs so that they could make their best case for him to sign. Ultimately, this was to no avail, with it reported that Wirtz left for the holiday he is currently on, considered the proposal for 5 days, then politely declined it. He called Kompany personally whilst his father spoke to Eberl and Hoeneß. This is apparently the basis for what has seemingly led Wirtz on a path to Liverpool. It is also insinuated that whilst Kompany gave his presentation, the manager came away with serious doubts, having got the impression Wirtz preferred Arne Slot's ideas better. Instead of fighting with the like-for-like Jamal Musiala at the Allianz Arena, he looks set to become the sole number 10 in the Red squad. Finally, SC say Bayern harbor no ill feelings towards Kompany or any individual one of their higher-ups for the failure to land Wirtz. They tried their best, and that wasn't enough. Thanks for watching. That's all for today's transfer update. But the transfer window never sleeps, and neither do we. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the latest Liverpool FC transfer news, rumors, and confirmed deals. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update, because at LFC Transfer HQ, you'll never walk alone.